What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&d, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClenahan, and we are getting higher tonight. Whoa! That's right, buds. We like to peel the curtain back a little bit in our D&D games so that you guys, it's like we try to keep the focus of our show on the story narrative. The rules that are in place and the system of Dungeons & Dragons is amazing because it kind of accommodates for however you want to run a game. We try to keep too much of the technical D&D side, like we make sure we read ahead with our characters. We make sure we understand like the abilities and things we can do, so we don't get bogged down in the D&D tech of it all while we're trying to present, our story to you. What's cool about these sessions, and I actually freaking love doing them, is we get to like sit down and just like get into the D&D of it all. The Ferocious Five will be leveling up from level 10 to level 11. This is a big level for a lot of classes, but it's honestly, I'm super excited for like, this is like one of the next power tiers. We're entering like the third phase of the level progression of D&D. And so, yeah, you're going to see a lot of, we'll just kind of discuss whatever abilities, how the hit points work and everything. And it's an opportunity for us to kind of check in with the players of these characters and kind of see where their heads are at with what's happened so far, what they might anticipate is to come. I really love when we get an opportunity to do these. And so it's super great. And I wanted to say we have a new bong in the studio here, donated by our good friend Johnny Can't Rock, big bud of the show. Congrats on your move to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Well, love to our buds out in Albuquerque. But yeah, he got me this sweet freaking lava lamp looking bong, and I love it. And we had so much luck with our last one. We're going to do it again this time. So we're going to do a bud's naming of this new piece. I am going to take some pictures of this. Probably, let's see, it's Tuesday now, so probably like Wednesday morning or so. I'll get a couple good images of this over on the Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord yet, please come on over, man. It is definitely like, it's a place that is like good for my mental health, and like we try to support each other. And there's been some like, hey, we're having a tough time kind of days in there, and just everybody kind of rallies around each other. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of when it comes to this production and the effect that it's had. Is just like helping people just get through, and in a way that, positive support and, just being there for each other, man. So come on over to the Discord, help us name this bong, but also, meet all these incredible buds, man. Like this, it's easy to get stuck in the loop of like my community, the community, talk about the community, but it's like this, I can't not, because you guys are amazing. Like it's people that come that don't know what's going on. You're always so welcoming, and you help, kind of teach people as they come. New buds always feel super welcomed. That's beyond us. We love what we do and we love the show, but it really is like that thing that happens afterwards between you guys, us, and the people just finding the show. That's the magic, that's what makes this truly special in my eyes, is just the supportive, awesome, kind of hilarious community that we have. That's just helped me, and I'm sure I don't want to speak for others, but I know me personally has like gotten me through one of the, combined shared a pretty traumatic year. So thank you guys. Honestly, I know I say it a lot, but I do love the Buds community, man. And you guys are just some of the best people ever. Huge shout outs to everybody that's done so much for the show. I could name you all, but I'm not gonna in this case. But so just know I'm going through my Rolodex and I'm thinking about all of you right now. But so yeah, come on over to the Discord. It is the WeeDnD Discord, and in the polls, I'll set up a little poll. Let's name this piece. My last piece was the Green Hornet, which I probably should have had with me right now. That would have helped. But the Green Hornet was named by Darkopolis the last time we did the Buds Name the Piece thing. So this little lava lamp guy, he's white. He's got two little blue balls in him. Don't we all? And so, yeah, freaking, I'll post that up. Let's get a name for this so that I can start calling it by its true name. So yeah, dudes, tonight we are going to be leveling up our incredible Ferocious Five. But in order to do that, I got to pass this joint here through the magical fibers of the interwebs to my dear and wonderful friend, Brenna Folger. Hey, Brenna, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing great. I'm doing incredible. Prince Bunor, the serpent slayer. Yeah. And I'm so excited to level up today because Daddy and Papa are getting some big swinging axes.
Yes.
So I'm really stoked about that. And I was trying to think of something that I know all of us can talk about. I order my eggs over medium. Abby, how do you order your eggs?
Wow, Abby, that is a killer Tina cosplay that you're doing right now.
Good.
Huh. She likes her mole eggs. Oh, Tina, you're hilarious. Hey, Tina, why don't you hand that over to Drew there?
Oh, thank you, Stoic baby. All right. That is also how I like my eggs. Mole. I won an award for that, playing mole. It's not important. I'm already pretty high, y'all, but Drew, Thorkus the dwarf, about to be Big Papa 3 strikes. And you're out of here. That's right. One more attack. We'll see what happens. I was told that I might be put on the spot for storyline stuff. I'm going to get by with a little help from my friends on that because you know what? It's Jake.
Wait, what kind of eggs do you like? Oh, mole eggs, you said.
Mole.
I have to go farther.
Oh, thank you so much, best friend.
Sorry, yeah.
At this point, is there any other answer besides mole when it comes to our eggs? It's the only acceptable answer. It's like A, B, C, and D options. It's just mole. Anyway, Jake Taylor here once again is Real Authorban, soon to be level 11 Arcane Trickster Rogue. Yeah, man, mole eggs, and I guess option B would be over easy. I'm not sure what over medium means. I just like the runnies. I like them in my toast.
I've never known.
Whites. The whites are cooked. That's all. Like the yolk is runny, but not the whites. So I feel like the whites feel like snot to me. So it's like I like them to be.
I'm with you. Not to piggyback, but that's how I like them. That's
Don't ruin my eggs for me, Brandon.
I like a snotty egg myself.
Oh my God! See, I knew he was going to go with it. Brandon ruined so many of the foods.
I'm using that for a future description. Absolutely, like snotties coming out like runny eggs. It's in there now.
You're welcome, and you're welcome.
Oh my God! But you know who is a good egg? Is this guy up here? What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Oh, thank you, Jake. What's up? It is your boy Gus 2 Eggs Langley, playing your resident revenant Divot, the Bard Warlock, and man, I think to echo what Tina said, you know what I mean? But also, like, if I had to pick my favorite kind of eggs, I'd be like, hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling for those tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Am I right? They're calling again. But they gotta be scrambled good. I'm tired of eating them sloppy, slimy eggs. With that being said, let me pass it over to Bam.
Yeah. All right. Made it back. Always just what a magical place this internet is. Shoot, for me, let's see. Obviously mole eggs, but I like my mole eggs over easy. Like I like my real eggs. When, you know, because mole egg prices are through the roof right now. Like, what are we going to do about these mole egg prices? It's like everywhere I go, there's mole eggs. Yeah, all right, dude. So a quick shout out to my team. Obviously, our dear and wonderful friend Abby is out there just crushing it right now, killing some burlesque here in town. And similarly, I wanted to throw a mad shout out over to my boy Jake Taylor, who just finished his first weekend of the Explorers Club. So any of our buds that are out here in Vegas, be sure to check out LVLT's Explorers Club. I think you guys run probably, 2 more weeks? Sweet, 2 more weeks. And then Brenna also, every week, she has a Morning Murders podcast. Be sure to check that out. They talk true crime over a cup of joe with some of our, you might notice some of our friends. Chipmunk, the host of Behind the Greens, the lovely Nicole Unger, is also on the show, as well as Amanda Kraft, huge friend of the show and supporter of us from like way back. So big shout out to all of our amazing friends. And there's creation and things happening all over town right now. And it's just super exciting to kind of see that phase of life reopening. For those of us that are entertainers, man, it's like this is the only way we know how to exist. So it's been a little tough without it. So I love you guys. I'm so proud of just like watching. It's like, you know, we've all kind of been together through this whole thing, and it's like it means the world to me to see like the people that I love like getting back to the thing they love doing. So it's just fucking nice. Speaking of things that we love doing, we got us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but we like to take a lighter like this Weed&d one. Make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire and go. The light is up. Let's get higher, guys. Ooh.
So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. Weed&d.
Ooh, the theme song. All right, guys. Unfortunately, since there's not a sesh, I don't get to set the mood. Actually, no. You know what? Let's have us some little. Let's have us some. Here, you know. Let's not fuck this up. Let me do it right. Here we go.
Set the mood.
I'm gonna set here. I'm gonna put a little music. So if you will all please allow me to set the mood.
It's gonna be so fucking set.
I do that simply for myself.
Shit's set.
All right, guys, we jump back in here. We're joining the Ferocious Five as they stand in the subterranean temple. The Coral Throne Room in the depths of the fallen city of Elmira. Brunor, you know, this is her homeland, had been driven away from here during the attack of the Shadow Dragon Exxonious. And we're now coming to find out that the people that were taken over by Exxonious had seemed to think that he was a traitor for having left. And so apparently like what's drawn the whole crew here is that Brunor was supposed to go on trial for treason. Now Brunor and the Five, being the slippery fishes that they are, didn't, you know, go according to plan and just let themselves be hauled up to the throne room. They escaped, and with a great Dragon D's nuts joke, they created just enough of a pause in the room for them to bolt down a sweet water slide, an underwater water slide, which let me tell you, I still love. Got down to the kitchen, worked their way through the library. It was a whole thing. But right now, you guys are all standing in the throne room. You see the giant looming shadow dragon Exxonious before you. You know, his giant body covered in these black, thick scales. And again, we've kind of like gone over with you guys how this moment is a connecting point for so many of your kind of destinies at this point. Rial and Divot, you're both closer to the true, like probably the biggest source of Sithesis's power outside of Sithesис is now in front of you. Thoricus, you know, this coming back to her homeland, this idea of like Brunor coming back and facing, you know, standing up for the crime she's being accused of and everything. It can't, you know, it's like Kulamara just resonates in your head, you know, wondering if like you'll ever get that position of respect back in your own kingdom. And Brunor's journey is kind of like inspiring your own in these steps. As you know, Vegeta Shalefist, you know, is waiting in the city of near Nombuldir, you know, and it's just like, so Brunor obviously standing here with the burning gauntlet of power on your fist, watching as the Elmiran army turns to your will and starts battling the shadowy forces of Exxonious around you. And Tina Smoothhands, you know, as you guys have kind of gone into the dark, deep places in the world where the sunlight doesn't even reach, she's found still a truer connection yet to her goddess Shantia, who even in this dark place has offered protection. And so, you know, we're kind of like, you know, it's this connection line of all these amazing stories that you guys have 100% like written and supported this story that we've built. And it's crazy how long we've been playing now, and that we're kind of getting toward these, you know, I would say we are in, I mean, like the latter chapter of our tale. Like we are finally getting to the point where like some of the things, you know, building the strength, you know, dealing with Exxonious, dealing with Shren Oldbuck and, you know, all these world forces that are going on. You guys are growing into that challenge. So that's it. Here we are. We're level 11. You know, all of you guys are going to be feeling a surge of power. And I want to clarify, it is in this moment. So unlike previous level ups where I give you a long rest directly after it's done, and you get to use all, and you know, back to full, use all your stuff. In this case, this level up is literally, and I'll describe it narratively when we play, but this moment is actually what's happening now. So like these new powers you're getting access to, these new things, like it's going to happen in the moment. So if you're down hit points, you're still down hit points. If you get new spell levels, you get them, but you don't refill your old spell levels that you've used already. You know what I mean? So anything that you get, you have. But any of the stuff that you've used since your last long rest, you don't get back in this case. So this level up is literally happening right before the showdown with a massive shadow dragon. Now, it is a little tip when your DM levels you up right before a big fight that maybe that fight is going to be extremely hard. So definitely know that I will be pushing the new limits of these extremely powerful characters. But I'm pumped. I'm very excited to get us here. Me and Tina, which again, you're just killing it. We'll be leveling her up as well. I did want to mention this is kind of a big step for a pure caster class like Tina Smoothhands. She'll be at level 11. She'll get access to 6th level spells. So I know it's a little confusing, but in Dungeons and Dragons there are only 9 levels of spells, 1 through 9. So even though your character is a certain level, that's not necessarily what level spells you cast. That is its own tree that connects to the caster classes. So in Tina's case, she's getting access to 6th level magic, which is 2/3 the strongest as magic gets. So you'll start seeing the power creep of these pure casters, you know, a Divot as well being a caster class that also has like the warlock multi-class on top of it. You'll start seeing their magics get like rather world changing. They you know, up until now that it's, you know, and not to say magic hasn't been powerful, it absolutely has, but you'll start seeing the capability of like changing the landscape around you kind of magic at this point now. So super excited to see what Tina does, and I can only, you know, just knowing her, I'm sure it's going to be epic and awesome. So Tina Smoothhands will be leveling up. She will be an 11th level cleric of life. I am interested in who wants to go first.
Should we roll for it?
Ooh, yeah, let's roll for it.
Get out of my brain.
Roll for it. Do you want to do a
My brain
D100?
didn't work fast enough. My
Roll
brain wasn't
for
part of that.
Level initiative.
There it is.
Can we roll a 100 just because you never get to do that?
I like that idea, because don't we have initiative already going with that?
Well, it'll just be us rolling a d20.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But what if we roll a 1d100 like Gus said?
Let's do it.
Dope.
Yeah, do a 1D100.
Yes, ma'am.
Sick.
Less chance of a tie, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Nice. Divot with a 67. Brunor with a 21. Thoricus with a 71. Rial with a 42. Looks like we're going Thoricus, Divot, Rial, Brunor.
Oh, wait, I thought that meant I got to go last. Damn it.
Nope. Thoricus Onyx Heart. We jump in, you know, like I said, the, you know, for fighters at level 11, bro, I mean, the candy that you get is, it's not a bunch of cool, fancy little stuff, but you do get another extra attack. So I just want to clarify, because it's like sometimes the way that some of the powers work, people get a little confused by this. The way that the fighter attack function works is the same as everybody else's. He uses his action, or her action, to instigate an attack, and they use their action to make that attack. Certain classes just get a hit more times with that action. So like paladins and the like, you see like the sub-fighter classes, like rangers, paladins, I think even monks get a second attack at 5. They'll only ever get 2 attacks. There is no class in the game that gets more than 2 attacks with their attack action other than fighters. So fighters, you get 3 when you use your attack action now. And Thoricus, because you have a bonus action, you technically, if you have that bonus action, you get 4 attacks off on a standard round, which is that big damage. Oof. All right, so let's see, level 11. Your proficiency bonus does not go up, so that'll be the same for all you guys. It'll stay at a +4. Thoricus, yeah, man, an extra attack with your attack action. So yeah, even if you don't have your bonus action, you're hitting 3 times. But if you do have your bonus action, here comes number 4, man. Pretty dope. Let's do hit points. That's really, honestly, it's funny. Fighters at level 11, it's like, hey, here's an extra attack. Isn't that dope? All right. So let's do hit points. You do have a D10. You could take the coward's way out, which is to take the average +1, which is what it takes. What it says in the DMG. In your case, you have a D10, so you could get 6 plus your Constitution, or you could be dope and risk the dice screwing you over hilariously. And you can roll a D10. If you do that, if you go with this option, I also roll a blind roll, and you can opt to take mine or yours, but you won't know what that roll is.
I know, and I hate that. I did already roll. I rolled a 7.
All right, nice 7. So you beat the average because you had courage, and
that's usually what it takes. The average.
All right. Do you want your roll or my roll?
In my heart of hearts, I'm going to take my roll.
They were the same anyway. I also rolled a 7. So yeah, that's just I'm hurt. I mean, I'll never recover from this, but
well, I know it's because of all that support and love that you gave me right before I rolled my hit points that I was like, oh, cool. So I'm a coward if I don't roll for it.
Yes.
And
as a
you're just
man,
gonna clown me forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So then I did, and I was like, what's up now? We rolled the same thing.
I want you all to know, you can always just take the average. I will think less of you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Early on, I did that a lot just because it mattered early on. And that's why Pop is up to triple digits before anyone else.
That's true.
Well, not currently.
And that dope Constitution.
I just survived a fucking disintegrate blast.
There was 2 disintegrates last sesh. For those, man, if you're just catching this now and you didn't check out last week, do it. Like last week was some of the best D&D I've played in a long time. That was phenomenal. Yeah, the Thanos glove moment with you. That was, and then the crit. It's just those are things. It's like that's the shit that D&D. There's a reason like this game has been around since the 70s and is going nowhere. Other than it's going like this, but I mean like it's not leaving anytime soon. It's those moments, man. I had one in my other game, same thing. It was like failed the check, had an inspiration point, used it, rolled the crit. Everybody's jumping around, and it's just it's like freaking Dungeons and Dragons is glorious. That moment with you, remember. I just have to highlight, he rolled a 19 and had +6. The only way you could have actually beaten him was to roll a crit, and you did.
I don't know why the dice gods were so kind to me that day.
5% chance, but it happened. I love D&D. That's part of the thing too, man. Let the dice, and we talk about them, it's like they're another part of this storytelling experiment. They tell just as much about what occurs, if not maybe a little more than most of us. It's just like it's I love establish this thing you're gonna do and then let the dice tell you how you did it. There's something to that's a lot of fun. And I just want to highlight some of our favorite narrative moments in this show. Some of the things I jump right back to initially are bad rolls. Like a bad roll, a crit shit or shit crit or like any bad roll, failing stuff. That's just an opportunity to continue telling the story. It's like, I think a lot of times people get caught up with like, oh, I didn't hit on my turn was wasted. Absolutely not. Your turn was only wasted if you failed to help build that narrative. Failure is part of the battle. I mean, watch a single movie where the main characters, they don't just bull rush everything that happens and win every fight and then the movie's over because they're unstoppable. Like it's those moments in the movie where they regroup, where people's opinions have to change, where you watch their psyche shift to prepare themselves for the challenge that's to come. That's where a lot of the story happens. So, I always try to appeal to like the newer D&D players and stuff. That is one thing. It's just like don't even think of it as a fail. Like I don't even like using the terminology failure in that case because it's just like the thing you were trying to do may have, but there's no reason that has to affect you as the player, and you should still enjoy your turn the way that anybody else does, and just look at it as an opportunity to flex a little more on the narrative. You know what I mean? So, awesome stuff. Seriously, that crit, bro. Oof. I still get chills thinking about it. You can't see it. I can. But yeah, dude. So
never see it on my arm.
Dorcas, with you, it's like we're kind of entering. Like we've got the Vegeta. Like Vegeta's out there now. He's rolling around with Ulara. Brunor's sister, and it's like again kind of that Nomble deer place to the north of Emerella vibe and everything. And there's kind of been like a big buildup. I'm interested because like we've seen this massive shift in Thoricus as far as like answering most problems with violence, and now there's like to see you kind of more of a commander amongst the group, and choosing the non-violent option or a path of least resistance sometime where before maybe you would not have. I'm interested in like what's Thoricus, where's his head at right now? Like what's he preparing? Is it Kumara? Is it his girlfriend over in Rodella? Is it like
what? Shut up.
Is it Vegeta's Shalefist? In Nomble Deer, you have your tribe now. You have Toko the Hatchet and the Stone Reavers of Kumara and their legacy. Like it's interesting for me because I don't actually get a chance to just be like, hey, where's your head at with this? This is that opportunity. Like where is Thoricus in this vein right now? Like what's going on with him?
There's a lot of things up in the air. Just kind of living day by day, just making the choices.
Living with those choices.
Kind of floundering at the moment.
Yeah.
No,
dope. Yeah. Honestly, it's like that's, and again, it's like There's a thing as a player in D&D sometimes where you're like, man, there's a lot of options and I'm just not sure like which one to commit to. That's on purpose in the way I run my games. Like I don't like the idea that like all people have all the time to handle all the problems in the world, because that's just not what life is like at all. And so it's like to me, there's just as much power in the choices that you are making as the choices that you aren't making. There's a huge example of that in our world right now, but I kind of don't want to give it away yet. So I'm just going to say that it's like there is a great example of that. It's like you can only save so much. You can only be where you can go. And there are evil people in the world all around you and meticulous plans in action, and people are trying to do things. And it's hard to figure out where your place is in that. So I just wanted to say that's not... It should feel that way, as far as like, I feel like I could go off a bunch of different paths. That's, in my opinion, one of the better ways to just like present your players with options is to give them a few, and then they will tell you what matters to them. You know what I mean? You'll see it play out. So, yeah, Thoricus, though, your damage threshold now is just so high. Like in one round, if you hit every time with your high strength and stuff, with the great weapon fighting, and it's just, I'm really excited to see some of those numbers.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
When I add my hit points to my maximum hit points, does that raise what I currently have by that same amount?
Yes. Yeah. Whatever you gain at this level, you do gain. I mean, and even the healing from that. You're not back to full, but if you got 7 hit or whatever, you have what's your con? Yeah, if you have 10, then your low health would go up by 10, the high would go up by 10, but you would still have taken the damage that you've taken to this point. That disintegrate that you had to eat, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at 9.
Yeah. Hey, Bruno, you were 9 damage away from getting turned into dust. Just so you know. Just the disintegrate spell, if you reach 0, you turn into dust.
Fuck.
No raised dead. You need wish or true resurrection to bring somebody back from that.
Fuck. Well, there is a luck blade.
High level magic. It's around.
Hot potato.
That
right?
First ass luck blade.
Oh my god.
We just needed 2
Hey, maybe
more
not.
jewels
Maybe
to
Shren's
keep
figured that out.
I swear to God, it would have worked.
All right. That brings us to, all right, so we've got your hit points. We've got your extra attack. I don't think Battlemaster doesn't get anything on this level special.
Not on this one.
Yeah,
but
so.
You did ask me what my thoughts were.
Yeah.
As far as like where things are headed. I am floundering a little bit, but honestly where Drew's head is at is that this has just been so fucking great, this whole journey. And I think the reason I'm so befuddled at this moment is because I'm looking for an excuse to just keep it going because I care so much about it. And it's been that important to all of us to build the community that we have and the friendships and the story that we've created together. It's just, God, why would I want that to end? I mean, I know that we're going to start a new campaign and just do more dope shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to let go what we've just been building to this point. So I think that's why I've kind of not really been thinking about it too much. It's just because I just want to see what we create every fucking week. So that is my answer to what is going on in my head right now.
You know,
That would
You
go for
touched on
Thor.
it, so I'm gonna.
Sean, take me over to DM cam real quick and just show that as well as you can. A huge shout out to, oh wait, yeah, they're kind of down here. A huge shout out to Vlad Kolenic, man. He's done so much art for this project. This most recent one though here, man, this picture of just all the five and just the legions of army, the Weed&d in the back. We've got our boy Brian down
I'll
there.
smoke
Like,
to that.
just to see these, man,
yeah.
this piece, it really hit me special. I'm with you on that, Drew. Like, to the point that it is a part of D&D that I think newer players might not. It's like there's a fear of like, well, we built these amazing characters and we've done all this amazing stuff. And I just want to say from a D&D player that first off, I love that. Like, it means the world to me as a DM that you would think that, and like this team and this project has meant the world to me. But there's also like, I have played D&D my whole life, and it's like D&D is so good that whatever the next step is, that next chapter, the new characters, the new world, will all be amazing. Like, it's each character, you know, that's what's funny about D&D, man. And a lot of characters don't get an ending. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, most D&D games get played like 3 or 4 times, and then everybody's schedules fall apart, and it's like, we'll try to get together once a month or something, you know. And like, we have this gift of 62 stories, you know, 62 pieces of this tale so far, that we've got to really, and it's like, so I think that's why we have connected the way that we have to these characters. Obviously it was everything else at the same time, but I just want to say also, just from the other side of somebody, you know, it's like, one of the beauties of this game is that it's the magic is the people you play it with. You know, and that's the real magic. Like, that's the actual magic that happens in this game, is the people you play the game with. And so it's like the game itself supports that. So however you like to have fun, some people like to just run through and kill everything, and they have the time of their lives, and I would never fault them for doing that. You know, some people like gritty hyper realism where you have to track rations and weight and things. And man, I've played in those games and they're a lot of fun. I have never had more fun playing the game than I do playing with you guys. So, you know, there's something to say that the fun, the thing I personally love, I know will be there. And it's like, it's almost fun for me as somebody who's played D&D for 28 years at this point. Like, now it's just something that's like, I'm like, I just can't wait for you guys to see that through line, that it's like the magic of that thing is still ever present. So, but yeah, man, it's been a treat for me too. And it is hard to kind of think about like a life without the Ferocious Five storyline. My whole life, I mean, on every day throughout the week, I'm running the numbers or thinking of the NPCs or the world or the balance or the you know what, and it's like, I mean, literally, it's been like you guys have been with me every single day now for well over a year, you know, and so yeah, I feel you on that, man. I totally do, and I love you guys.
I fucking love you guys.
Love you guys so fucking much.
And I will smoke to that. All right, my friends. Thorcus, thank you. I honestly, it's been a treat to play this character through and to see the growth and just kind of the again, like I said, you and me, I mean, like, we're a little bit more of the D&D veterans of the group as far as like have played the game the longest. That really means so little to me at this point, though. But it is nice to you know, to see. There is an ingrained way to play D&D. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like you play with 5 different groups, and whatever the kind of median is of that, you consider that maybe that's what D&D is. And so it's like, it's been fun that even for you and me throughout this, the both of us have kind of been like, man, this is really something kind of different. Like, there's something different about this that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why, I guess at least, but for me, I guess my storyline is a little less important, is because unlike the other players, I've had a bunch of different storylines and a bunch of different characters that I've cared about and had to, you know, either just have the games never happen again or actually finish out a campaign and do it. You know, I've done it a bunch, so that's why I kind of like I'll jump in when Papa needs to and be like, no.
No, I think you have a great like balance of like the role that you play now, like the general. You know, it's like you see it play out in the battle, and I would say the development of Thoricus, rather than world in, which is like the way we see most characters evolve, it's almost been group out with Thoricus. Like it's not really too much of what's happened to you guys that's molded Thoricus along the way, but how you within the group reacted to what was happening. And so when I look at the big transitions of all the characters, yours, I would say, is the most like in out rather than out in. You know, like Rial's whole world got crashed on him when he found out he was like the goodness removed from the guy you're all trying to kill. You know, and so it's like, boom, that's the world pressing in on you. Brunor kind of being forced in, like squished by the responsibilities to her family and title, and, you know, trying to be a free spirit and that balance. So it's like you've got all these different directional stories, and you know, and God, Divots is now so cosmic. You know what I mean? It's like beyond the realm of men. Now it exists in the in between places in the planes. You know, and so Tina's the devotion to a pure goddess, and like it's just see. I think that's why these stories work so well together. Is that it's none of you are really pushing at the same thing, and it's like, but through all of your growth and the various states of your being, it's like we're ever connected to the story in that way. It's how it's felt for me, at least telling the story too. It's like easy for me to narrate the in-between bits, because it's like that's the story. That's, to me, is one of the best parts of the story with you guys. It's like those little like in between this crazy thing that happened and the next crazy thing that's gonna happen. So yeah, fucking A, dude. Good stuff. All right.
Well,
Final thoughts. Thoricus.
I'm all done at that point, I think, other than just to say as Thoricus about Vegeta's Shellfist. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting back to my roots a little bit, and if he wants to fucking throw hands, Papa's ready now. 3 times ready. Papa Sketty.
And then a little bonus sketty.
He doesn't need to know about that. He doesn't need to know about that Parmesan.
Bam.
No.
More like harm.
Parmesan.
How do you do it? How do you do it all the
Parmesan.
time, Rial? Tuna hawk, clam margera. This is the joyous life I live these days. All right, sweet. Well, I love you, Thoricus. I can't wait purely to see how much damage you do on your next first round. I'm very excited about it. So we are going to keep cooking over to the next highest roller on our list, which is my man, Divot. Divot, you've got the, again, you being our only multi-class, you're often faced with the very difficult decision of like, do I continue increasing my power as a warlock, or do I take that sweet bard candy that I've been like pushing back farther and farther every time that I take a class? Which way have you decided to go?
Coin. Oh.
He's flipping for it.
All right, check it out.
Okay,
No.
well, yeah. I mean,
That's gonna be another class in Warlock.
Taking that Warlock. Dope. Shoot, if I'm not mistaken, I think you get another invocation.
Things are getting spooky.
Indeed, yeah. I get another invocation, and I think I'll get to pick a 4th level spell.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, let's see here. Warlock. So, you will be turning what level in Warlock? 5?
Yes. Bringing me to a total of 11 with my 6.
Yes, and now, so all of your spell slots for all your spells as a Warlock cast as 3rd level spells now. Just so you know, when you use your Warlock spell slot, so anything that's leveled and has like a higher level effect, yours casts as a level 3 spell. That's a cool thing about Warlocks. Even though they don't get many spell slots, they refresh on a short rest, and they cast at a high level every time. So it's like any of your spells that have a cast at higher level ability, you would apply it as if you were casting it as a 3rd level spell.
Oh, yeah.
Super dope. Now, invocations, I just want to read this because Warlocks are really cool. A lot of people hate on Warlocks, and I think they're a really cool class. But in your study of occult lore, you've unearthed eldritch invocations. fragments of forbidden knowledge that imbue you with an abiding magical energy. So this eldritch magic, I mean, Divot, in your case, you've now been exposed to the raw, crackling, black magical power of the root of shadow magic itself, mixed in with your own access to the power of death in this acorn that grows within you. And so, this exposure, this black lightning orb that you just stepped in, that fried your body if you protected your enemies from it, that seems like a perfect little point for you to connect. To remember, you saw the world through Death's eyes for a moment, and you suddenly knew so much that you didn't know before, but it was too much and you couldn't access all of it. And so, whereas with other characters, it's their accumulation of things that grants them these boons, you, Divot, have access, in a sense, to the power of death. You're a through line to the current of death. And so rather than, learning some new facet, you're just remembering some eldritch fact through the dark magic that you've become so in tune with. So, super dope. That does give you a ton of options. I'm interested. Do you know which invocation you're going to take?
I have an idea of one that I like flavor-wise for the character. And that's good enough for me. So I think I'm going to go Fiendish Vigor.
Fiendish Vigor. You can cast False Life on yourself as well, at will, as a first level spell. All right, so False Life, you can just cast now without expending a spell slot or material components. So Divot, basically, you grant yourself this temporary hit point boon on yourself at all times.
Now let me ask you this. Does that automatically become third level?
So it specifically states as a first... No, and here's why it wouldn't. Because it's when you use your Warlock spell slots, and for this, you're not using a spell slot. So
I was
it's
just trying to clarify now rather than try to get away with it later.
No, yeah, for sure. Honestly, normally I would, in that case, it would be pretty close, but it does specifically say you cast it on yourself at will as a first level spell without expending a spell slot. So it's like, that's the reason your beefed up Warlock spell slots don't beef up this. Now, nothing is stopping you from learning the spell False Life and casting it with a Warlock spell slot, in which case it would cast as third level. But this ability, this at will False Life, is limited in that way. But it is basically like you just got, what is False Life at first level is what, 5 hit points? I can check.
It's something plus, yeah, I got it.
False Life. So yeah, it's you get 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points for the duration. So anywhere between 5 and 8 hit points. It does last an hour, so it's not something you have to like keep touching yourself every 10 minutes. I mean, hey, live your life. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. But yes. So yeah, basically, Divot, I mean, you just like, when you think about it, you touch yourself and you get 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points. It lasts an hour. So you can pop that off all the time. In battle, obviously, that would take an action to do. So maybe not if you, it's not like you get those hit points every single round, but in the sense of the real world, every encounter you go into now, you'll be going into with extra hit points. Here's what's funny too, Divot. If you wanted to be chintzy, basically it could all, I don't know, I think it's more fun to roll it, but you could hypothetically be like, well, if I touch and I only got 5 hit points, wouldn't I just go, let me cast that again until I get 8 hit points? And there we go. Okay, cool. I got 8 hit points now and I'll stop doing it. So it's like, I think taking this as an invocation, that's not that broken to give you like 8 extra hit points going into most encounters. But again, you can always roll the d4. But yeah, you have it at will and it doesn't cost you anything. It's basically a cantrip for you now, but it casts a first level spell, which is super dope.
Yeah, the only other one that I was looking at was Repelling Blast, and
okay,
I felt like there's a lot of like technical stuff with pushing people, so
it's also, I'll
complicated.
admit, not unwise of you because of also the way I make maps. Like there are people, there's a certain way to play D&D where that ability to push somebody 10 feet, like the game Baldur's Gate. All right, in the video game, of course they want all these dynamic elevations because it helps bring the game to life. So every dude you fight is on a bridge or on a cliff or on a freaking by a thing. And dude, as a warlock, you're just like kapla, kapla, just shooting guys into the abyss constantly, and it's fantastic. But I do top-down maps, and I'm not the best. I'm sorry, I'm not great at delineating like a change in elevation. And you're right, it's not like my guys tend to fight you from like the top of a wall or from up a guard tower up above. Like, again, sometimes, and I do this as a player, there's just certain DMs that have certain play styles, and some skills don't work as well in those plays. Like, you know, I know DMs that use a perception check for pretty much everything. Like, it's just like every check you make is just a perception check. And so it's like, okay, so being trained in perception in that game is very important. But so yeah, I'm with you, David. I think Repelling Blast is amazing. The ability to push people back is super cool, and blowing people off of stuff is tight. But dang me and my top-down maths, you'll barely benefit from it. My bad top-down maths, poorly. I'm sure there's a way to. This is taller than this. I put stairs, and I thought that did it. All right, Divot, you've also got, so cool things for you, Divot. You're going 5th level. You do get one more spell that you know. You get to learn a new spell, which can be pretty sweet, even though, you know, as a warlock, it's like, you know which spell you need. Eldritch Blast. You also get, and your spell slots, you still have 2. Again, warlocks only get 2 spell slots until, or no, at 11th level they get 3. But Divot is not, he's an 11th level character, but he's not an 11th level warlock. But yeah, it's like, that's how long you only have 2 spell slots. That's one of the big arguments about the class. I think it's a little overblown, but the extra invocation is super dope. So yeah, Divot, the false life on yourself, again, it's like the coolness of that on this route we're going with your character just makes total sense to me. I love it.
Man, and then like, as far as, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I also get a 4th level spell.
So you get, no, because you're turning what, 5th level?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be a 5th level warlock. So 3 cantrips, 6 spells known instead of 5. So you learn 1 new spell. Spell slots are the same. The way your magic changes in this case, up until now, all of your spells have casted as 2nd level spells. They now cast as 3rd level spells. So that's the increase in your casting.
Okay, but I do get to know 1 more spell.
You get to know 1 more spell, yes.
Okay, and what is the level limit on that?
That's not really limited to you. You can only cast up to a 3rd level spell slot as a warlock. So warlock spells of 3rd level or below would make the most sense.
Okay. All right. I gotta look at some of these then.
Oh, cool. We can swing back if you want to like take a look at the spell list.
Yeah. I was. That's an exciting thing that I didn't realize I was gonna do.
Perfect. Heck yeah. All right, sweet. So yeah, we'll swing back to you, Divot, and go ahead, like take your time. Don't feel rushed. And if you have any questions about any spells, I'm happy to field them.
Cool. Do you want me to go ahead and roll hit points?
How dare you ask me a question? No, I'm kidding. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, let's do hit points. Oh, you're gonna roll, because see, look at you. That's how you have that beard. It's all in rolling. Even Brenna, she has to shave her beard because she rolls for hit points.
It's full of dice.
Yeah, we'll see. Da-da-da.
All right, so Divot, I believe you're a D8. Is that correct? D8 hit dice?
Yeah, for a level in Warlock, that sounds right.
Yeah, is Warlock D8? I got it here. I don't know why I'm asking. I have the book in my hand. Yes, it's a D8. All right, so you have the same option. You can get 5 just given to you. You know, like you're a baby and somebody gives you a candy. And they're like, here's the average +1. Not even the middle line, just the average +1 or the middle +1. So it's like, here's a little extra candy. Put it in your mouth, baby. Or you can roll for it like a toddler, walking through the world, snatching whatever he wants off the countertops and smashing your little soft skull into corners and stuff.
Okay, well, that one, I guess, then.
Ooh. All right, I'm also, hold on, don't worry, I'm blind rolling. All right, so Divot, you know, sorry, it's probably my own goading that led you to roll a 1. So Divot, you do have the opportunity to take your blind roll or mine. Which one do you want to go with?
I'll take your roll.
I'm sorry, I didn't do much better. I rolled a 2. So Divot 2 plus your Constitution modifier, which I believe is 1. Unfortunately, Divot. I mean, it makes sense. Your body is like dying. Like the fact that you're getting more hit points at all, you know. So yeah, you'll get 3 more hit points.
Tight.
Instead of, what, 6. So I, through my taunting of you, cost you 3 hit points. I'll remember that.
Oh, I'll take it.
Well, you're a big boy now. You're a big boy. All right, Divot. So yeah, go ahead and check out those spells. We will we'll swing back to you and double check on which one you end up picking. But yeah, new invocation. Like I said, you basically have this little bubble of hit points at all times now, which is pretty sweet. All right, Divot, Thoricus, Divot, and then it went Rial Othravon, the Arcane Trickster.
Yes, sir.
We get to my rogue section.
This is a fun one for rogues.
Yo, you get one of my favorite abilities in the game.
Hell yeah.
I remember, it's funny, one of the first campaigns that I ran was an 11th level game. And it was like, this ability alone is what made me take it, because I really wanted to try to like break the assassin type class. And I was like, well, this seems way too good. But it's so roguish. It's like, at this point, come on. All right, so what does it do? Go ahead and inform our...
Yeah. So at 11th level, Rial now has Reliable Talent. You have refined your chosen skills until they approach perfection. Whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
Ooh, dang.
Pretty fucking sweet.
So apparently my PHP broke, because that's not what you want. That's not. The bindings in these books, I'm telling you, bro. All right, they get worse every time. All right, this is why we use computers now. Everybody's like, well, I already bought the book. It's like, yeah, oh look, and this is backward. This is even the wrong way. All right, guys, I'm gonna need some help here. All right, so you got Reliable Talent. You also, let's see, does sneak attack go up at 11?
It does, 66.
Oh my god.
Dude. It's a spicy sneak.
That's a spicy sneak.
Damn.
66. Holy crap. That's like that's like just shy of a fireball, bro. Like, in fact, you're doing 7d6 with your weapon, so 1d6 short of a fireball with your sneak attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. Oh my gosh. So I'm curious. Which skill are you going with? I mean, I have my guess, but I'm curious.
Well, yeah, I'm sure your guess is kind of where I was leaning. It's like his stealth is already so. If there's like a skill that's approaching perfection, it's gonna be that one. But to pick your brain, do you think there's anything else that would be worth noting?
All right, so I try when you guys are doing character stuff, I try to join the character realm of things. Okay, like if I was building this character, what are some the thing that's really nice about choosing stealth in your options? So you roll anything lower than a 9, it's now a 10. So no matter what, your baseline for stealth is 10. You literally have a passive stealth now, basically. Like is 10 plus your skill bonus, which has got to be like plus 12 or something at this point. Yeah. So that means no matter what, the worst stealth check you could make would be a 22. Now, the way stealth works, it's their active perception if they're looking for you against your stealth. So that doesn't mean you're invisible or anything.
Right.
They could see you, and in fact, a highly perceptive creature still has a pretty good chance to see you, because they would likely have, say, like a plus 12 of their own. But we were just talking about it, bro. D6, 6d6 for your sneak attack damage now. None of those other skills augment that ability as well as stealth. Stealth is, especially with your bonus action hide, like stealth is the thing that's going to grant you the advantage that you're trying to benefit from most of the time you're using sneak attack. You could also, I mean, Thoricus is always toe-to-toe with somebody, Brunor's always toe-to-toe with somebody, so it's easy for you to get the if they're fighting somebody near an ally advantage.
Exactly.
But the way you play the game, you know, at least in battle scenarios now, there is a lot to say for history. But I don't know if you're trained. I think you have to be trained in the thing. But
Our greatest foe.
No.
I was also going to say, you have the throat fucker. So with all that sneak attack, even if you roll a 1, don't you get to like re-roll it?
Not on the attack.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yes. So, but you would have advantage because you're attacking from stealth. So you would have 2d20 involved in, you know what I mean? Like that battle line, again, just like if I just like pure D&D player mechanics, stealth gives you the more opportunity to land those big whammy sneak attacks. And it plays into the way you play pre-battle as well. You like to scout out locations and scenarios. We've utilized your stealth proficiency in a lot of skill checks. And so it's like, I would say, if I had to guess what skill you've used the most, it would absolutely be stealth. So beefing that up, it does make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I was kind of feeling that too. The only one I was even half considering apart from that, just because it works narratively, is Arcana, especially just with more and more of this like synthesis presence happening.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of toying with that idea, but I think stealth, especially now that we're kind of reaching like an end game point.
Yeah.
We got to be our best selves. So.
Honestly, the dragon you're standing in front of right now is like probably the biggest challenge that you guys will have faced to this point. And in fact, absolutely is. So it's like, you're not wrong in that thing. I have to say though, Real, I do like the idea. That is another, like I said, history, but like Arcana is a good one too. I, as a DM, tend to do a lot of Arcana checks because I like high magic stuff around all the time. It's just the way I like to play. And so it's like, that is one of those where you're like, my DM likes to do this. This might be beneficial. I joke, but history would be funny because it is like the check that has, to this point, other than maybe once or twice, just stopped all of your progress on many occasions. So
it's the 5's worst foe.
Yeah,
history check.
Exactly. Yeah, the true BBEG.
So sweet. Yeah, I'll roll with the reliable stealth.
Reliable stealth, nice. And then do you get? I think you just get you learn a new spell.
I do.
And. Oh, you actually don't get any new slots. This is, Arcane Tricksters, again, just for like some of our newer players, they're considered 1/3 a caster. So it's like the Paladins and Rangers and that's like the half tier, half caster, and then like the third casters are like the Eldritch Knight subclass for Fighter or the Arcane Trickster. Your spell progression's a little jilted because you're still getting all the awesome advantage of being a rogue.
Right.
So yeah, do you know which spell you're gonna take?
So yeah, I was looking through the PHB and I was jotting a few down, like just going through the list. And the two that I was looking at first, because they would just be fun and kind of work in with this like stealth, either Fly, because who doesn't want to fly, and Spider Climb, which I had looked at earlier. And those are both good for like getting around and getting about, especially because Spider Climb, like I can do it to my team.
Yes, I think fly too. You can also make them fly as well.
Yeah, a willing creature, so either or. But
what if they're just like, no, I'm unwilling. I'm not gonna fly.
But the one that I'm feeling is remove curse. I'm really eyeballing that one.
We do have a lot of cursed things around.
Yeah.
A lot of cursed things around.
So I think if that's all right, I'm leaning towards remove curse.
Bro, yeah. The remove curse is going to be, again, not to step outside the lens too much, but it's like I do like my cursed things. So I can think of like 5 different occasions where the spell would have been useful to you already. So definitely a spell that has some pretty potent opportunity for you. At your touch, all curses on an object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but it breaks the spell's owner's attunement to the object. So like most of the times that you're cursed, you can't get rid of it. Remember, Thorcus had the cursed onyx blade on his hand where it just like he couldn't put it down. Most curses have that feature. So remove curse wouldn't take the curse off of the object, but it would stop the person that's being cursed by it from being cursed by it.
Okay.
And you can also remove curses affecting a creature, because there's like spells that are curses, like there's curse magic, and you can remove those as well.
Yeah, and especially with this battle, because I got reamed pretty hard by those shadow priests and there's that necrotic damage. And I think like in that moment, like gaining these new abilities, it's kind of like, like we're dealing with higher magic here.
Yes, everything's so like blighted and tainted, and it's just I mean the mixed corruption of the entire world around you at this point. So heck yeah. And then man, I'm getting so excited for this, like to going over to the inevitable like synthesis moments with you and Rial, and man, super exciting for me. But how's that ride been for you? Like what's funny is like that decision did kind of come out of a mutual blending of some background options we discussed early on, and then some things that just happened in the story that started to paint that way. So it's like that twist, that wasn't something I had, I was twiddling my mustache and thinking about all along. That came from the choices and everything that we made throughout the journey. And then it was like, well, obviously, and so, but it's like, what's that transition? I mean, you're getting toward a pretty potent line in your arc as well.
Oh yeah. Especially with who we're standing in front of right now. Like, this is big. Not only is it like a thorn in Brunor's side, it's someone who's not only fucking with my friends, it's a huge part of what I am, how I came to be. So at this point, it's like any piece, like while I'm still on this earth, that I can take away from synthesis, that's what I got to do. It's the sole focus at this point.
Boom. I'm so excited. Ah, man. All right, guys, we're actually going to we've got a couple things still yet to do. We're going to come back and get Divot's idea on what spell he's going to decide that I'm sure is going to be something that'll change every map that I make. And then we've got to level up our dear and wonderful Brunor, the Serpent Slayer. But we are going to take us a little 10-minute intermission here real quick, guys. We have so much amazing art submitted to the show by just nearly a dozen artists at this point have sent in original works. Jake Taylor, Sean Gilcrest, Ray Torres, Vlad Kolenic, Ben Shell. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few right now. But it's, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Gabe Cadoba. We've got Kellen who's sent in my little custom band miniature. It's just, guys, it's so freaking amazing.
McDaniel.
And so, what's that?
Spence McDaniel.
Spence McDaniel, yeah, with the dice. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, incredible people. Again, it's like, I just pushed it farther away from myself, but this art is incredible. Check the intermission, check out all this original art, time lapses by Sean Gilchrist and Jake Taylor, of course. Phenomenal art from the Buds community, and all the original music created by Sandy Stein at a volume appropriate to listen to it, because oh my God, it's magical, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We will be back in 10 minutes to finish in Getting Higher.
Can you take me higher?
welcome back, buds, to Getting Higher with Weed&d. We are indeed getting higher, taking the Ferocious Five from level 10 to level 11. So far, we've leveled up Thoricus Onyxheart, who gets that third attack as part of his attack action that fighters get at level 11. He got himself some more hit points and has so many. We also leveled up Rial Othravon, our arcane trickster, who now has gone with the reliable talent ability with stealth. So basically, our boy can't roll less than like a 22 on a stealth. So, dope. We also got some new spells for him. We leveled up Divot. Divot, we could actually come back into finishing you up if you know which spell you're going to go. Oh, wait, go ahead, Rial. Yeah.
Hit points.
Hit points. Oh gosh, yes. And I skipped Rial's hit points. So Rial,
Did you want some of those?
Before you are two decisions.
Spare,
Heat points?
Heat points.
Oh, you want some more of those? All right.
If that's all right. I don't know though. It's like sitting at 69. It's a good number. Like
Roll a 0.
I enjoyed it while I had it.
That's true. Let's get one last nice. Nice.
Left me smiling and satisfied.
She always left me
That's what
smiling.
she said.
That's what she said. So good. All right, so I, in true form, will also be rolling my blind. My blind roll. You have a D8 as well, so.
Yes.
There is my roll.
I appreciate that you don't think I'm like a little baby. You just knew. It's like, yeah, we're rolling for it.
Yeah, Rial's gonna roll for it. Okay, like you can't wearing that beanie. I knew you were all in on this.
Yeah, I had that one time where I got the boon from the average. It's like, let's just keep that legacy there. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I rolled 6.
6. So you have the opportunity to take your roll or my roll. Which would you like to do?
Hey Gus, can you flip a coin for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks, friend.
Good.
Oh, it says don't do it.
Let's don't. All right, I'll stick with mine.
Yo, the coin speaks. I rolled a 1. Holy crap! That was real magic there. You just saw.
Real magic.
I was like, I don't want to give it away. I'm trying my poker face, but like, don't do it, Rial. Don't do it. I would have made you do it too. So, all right, because I'm a jerk. Dude, dope. What's your con mod, Rial? What do you add to that?
1.
Nice. 7 more hit points. Hey, that matters, as you saw when you were starting to take some punches from them spiky Goblin guys. But the spiky Goblin guys are on your guys' side now, as the shadows begin their war with each other. Sweet. Sorry, Rial, didn't mean to skip your hit points there. Did I skip anything else, or is that the end of your dude?
That's me. What you got, Divot?
All right, Divot. Your spell selection.
Okay, so I have some options prepared from like the normal list, but I have a proposition for you, and you're not going to hurt my feelings if you say no. But I'm thinking about my skill set and how my patron is death, and the various interactions that Death's assistant would have and whatnot. And I know that it's typically a necromancy spell reserved for wizards and clerics, but I would love to be able to animate the dead.
All right. You know what? Here, you are absolutely right, Divot. That does feel right up the alley of a Divot ability, especially again considering the storyline. And we have made a special patron. Your patron is Death rather than the Great Old One or any of the other options that you would normally choose. And so, and again, in those cases, it's not uncommon for like a subclass or anything like that to get spells from another school in that way. Light clerics get Fireball, which is a wizard spell. So it's again within the rule set of Dungeons and Dragons. This does make sense to give you access to some spells that lean into the flavor of your character. So first, let me just look at it before I just outright say yes. But do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
Yeah, sure, I'll read it.
Dope.
Okay, so it's casting time is 1 minute. It's a range of 10 feet. Yada yada yada. Instantaneous cleric wizard class. Normally, we already said that. This spell creates an undead servant. Choose a pile of bones or a corpse of medium or small humanoid within range. Your spell imbues the target with a foul mimicry of life. raising it as an undead creature. The target becomes a skeleton if you chose bones, or a zombie if you chose a corpse. And I guess that's based on your stats.
Yeah, those are the actual stats for skeleton and zombie. Yeah.
Whoa.
On each of your turns, you can use a bonus action to mentally command any creature that you made with this spell if the creature is within 60 feet of you. If you control multiple creatures, you can command any or all of them at the same time, issuing the same command to each one. You decide what action the creature will take and where it will move during its next turn. Or you can issue a general command, such as to guard a particular chamber or corridor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, if you issue no command, the creature only defends itself against hostile creatures. Once given an order, the creature continues to follow it until its task is complete. The creature is under your control for 24 hours, after which it stops obeying any command you're giving it. To maintain control of the creature for another 24 hours, you must cast the spell on the creature again before the current 24-hour period ends.
That's silly shit.
This use of the spell. Go ahead, sorry.
That's like one of the funniest things. Just like, get him, skeleton. Skeleton? Skeleton, no! I'm out of third level spell slots.
This use of the spell reasserts your control over up to 4 creatures you have animated with the spell rather than animating a new one.
All right, so I'm absolutely, yes, you can have this spell. It's not game breaking in any way to give this freaking warlock of death this spell. There's also Gus, personally, not Divot, but Gus. There's certain spells that, like, when you have them, they like make me laugh just imagining the shenanigans, and this is absolutely one of them. Also, because of how dope your little green room is when you cast your Magnificent Mansion. Which
Tiny Hut.
Tiny Hut.
Yes, when you cast your tiny hut, the little bony green room with a bunch of skeletons standing out front. That's just too dope, and I want to see it in my imagination. So, absolutely. Again, like I said, I like Rule of Cool. I do think that the rule set of D&D is really well made, really well balanced. And so in a case like this, you're asking for something that occurs regularly in subclasses. You have a great reason for it. It's not game breaking. I'm not terrified that 4 skeletons are going to turn the tide of, the great ending, but it is very useful in as far as combat goes. It is also, and I'm just going to double check, but I'm almost positive it's not. It is not concentration. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I took a hit and now all these skeletons just go, they're crumble into bones or turn around and attack you. But that is one thing, Divot, just to keep in mind, be mindful of, because we don't have the sun going down. Just keep in touch with me about how much time has passed on things, kind of like we're doing with Real right now. Just keep that in mind as it factors in. It also only has a 60-foot range for command on these, so it's not like you can send 4 skeletons to go abduct somebody from another town. So it's like, it's not game breaking in any way to give this to you. So yeah, I'm totally for it, bro. Animate dead. I mean, dude, yeah, you have the acorn of death within you. That makes a lot of sense that you could pump that energy the other way.
Sick. Well, I appreciate that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of that, Divot, and I know we're on a little bit of a crunch, but where are you at on that, man? Like, it's that this journey, another big acorn awaits, a big juicy one in front of you, one of the biggest sources of Synthesis' power. After him, it's literally Vegeta Shalefist and then Synthesis himself that remains. So as that showdown, that inevitably means a confrontation of some sorts with Real is also inevitable and ever getting closer. So like as a player, where's your head at in all that?
So I talked about this a little bit before, but I think each time I take in one of these acorns, it like triggers some decisions and some changes in me or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like right now, I still feel very much a part of the group, and I'm looking for like every loophole possible that I can think of, and I'm trying not to sweat about how the clock is running out on my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see how things change. If we live through this fight.
Yeah, this is a big one, man. And I just like full admittance off camera have absolutely like told my friends that it's like this fight is a doozy. Like you've got this thing in front of you can really tune you up. So I'm giving them the extra week to consider just how they want to go about solving this pretty massive challenge before them. But yeah, no, Divot, it's again, it's just as a storyteller and co-oping as this story has gone along the way, and the things that you've added, the things that I've had the joy to add along the way, it's been a super fucking cool journey. And it's funny, it's like you said, like the bardic magic feels like forever ago now. Like the guy doing concerts in the village while you guys were shopping and stuff, and it's like that turn, but he's still Divot, like you're still like there's still that like laughter wave effect that happens around you and stuff. It's been such a cool evolution to watch and be a part of. All right, we did Divot's hit points though. We rolled those, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
sweet.
yes.
Which brings us to Brunor, the serpent slayer, the shield master.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Brunor.
Yes.
Big moment, man. Big. I mean, it's like when you write your backstory, you end up with like there's like sometimes in them there's like that person, and you're kind of at that right now. Like here we are in the coral throne room of Elmira. Who'da thunk? With you with a gauntlet now that's giving you control over the Elmirian army itself. I'm very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, I don the sweaty glove of Exxonious.
You're like, aw.
It was a crazy hot potato moment.
Yeah, 2 disintegrates, man. You guys swallowed 2 disintegrates. I don't check on your guys' hit points with stuff. So like that when I noticed that like inevitably afterwards I'll be like, what are you at? Like, cause it's like, oh, that I didn't realize I could have just turned you into dust. Dungeons and Dragons, high magic, it's coming, man. Like, just got to be careful. Some of these moments are, yeah.
Big boys. But I like it. I'm excited for it. It's going to be really fun. And now Thoricus and I can issue out 3 first-class tickets to Fucktown.
First class.
I mean, he's got that bonus ticket.
Yeah.
He's got that bonus, but man.
I mean, you've got
I'm
a
gonna
Brian.
take him.
You
I
know?
do have a Brian.
Yeah.
He's my bonus.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, because we're not getting our stuff back here to use his breath weapon in that ship.
Yeah, as far as Brian's evolution, he does not level up traditionally with you guys, at level ups. But we have found, his transformation along the way from various dragon peni. Have seemed to give him some additional powers and sustainability, as well as a little suit of armor that Thoricus whipped up for him. Or did he end up getting the barding? I can't remember if we ever got a chance to do that. No, because time was short. We had to pick. That's right. So that's still a thing down the line that can happen. You are in a kingdom that has an armory right now. You don't know how well it was upkept. But yeah, so Brunor, 3 attacks now. Dope. Super dope. Super dope. Angelo, Blade of the Keeper. Holy crap. All right, and then we've talked about this. Fighters level 11, you get another attack, and then you get some hit points. So, how are we doing this, Brunor? You taking that? Are you taking the average? Are you going to take the average, or do you want to like roll for it?
I'm gonna take what the average was here, which was to roll for it.
Nailed me, got me. I was like, she's gonna come at me with the she got me at the, that was like a Shyamalan film. All right.
Shyamalan.
I don't know why I call him Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Oh, Black Man, it's Shyamalan. All right, here we go.
It's a D10, yeah?
Yeah, D10. Fighters got them. The only ones, just so y'all know, Toko would be rolling a higher dice.
I rolled a 9, so.
Ooh, coming in with that 9. Brunor, do you want to keep yours or take my hidden roll?
I want to keep mine.
Yeah, you do. I rolled the 3. So, yeah, you guys have made the right calls, even without requiring the dice of Divot.
Cool. My modifier is 3. So, yay!
What's that put you at now? I'm curious, what are our hit point totals right now? What's everybody at?
My hit point maximum was 94.
Triple
I got into those trips, baby.
Ooh, breaking the 3-digit club.
Nice.
Nice.
All
I got
right.
106.
Damn.
But I'm at 9, but I get to add 12 to that. So,
Nice.
right?
So you're at 18. Yeah. Yeah. Again, Tina, who's very kindly just, sat there and looked incredibly like her character. Her ability to be silent, still and silent is unmatchable. But she will be getting benefit. I'll just spill some beans on one of the big spells she gets at level 6 is heal, which I'm pretty sure is just 70 points of healing.
Wow.
I think it's just like, here, I'll double check because it's like, it is one of those spells where you're like, oh, we doing that now. All right, heal, just to double check. Yeah. A surge of positive energy washes through the creature, sounding totally like Tina, causing it to regain 70 hit points. It also ends blindness, deafness, and any disease.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sixth level magic. Literally 1 level ago, she was like, well, I can cast like 5d8 plus 3 heals, and then maybe roll poorly, and like you'd get like 12 hit points out of like a 5th level spell slot. But now it's 6th level. It's just like, have 70 hit points back.
Good, because 2 of us really need that.
Yeah, right? Doesn't it suck
More
that 2
so.
of you really need that? And she has 1 spell slot.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
But so Bruno, you're at what, 21?
Yes.
Yes. I'm at 44 out of 114.
114. Yeah, just maybe don't die to a breath weapon attack. Cool. Brunor, so here we are, dude. This has been cool because, like I said, the Brunor we know and the Brunor, the past of that character, it's like there's like almost an aloofness in juxtaposition to this like high burdened youth that you actually had, that kind of explains some of the direction that you go. But like having this now opportunity to bring the character we know and have watched grow back to kind of the backstory of that character is like a really cool moment that we really haven't had to have quite yet. We didn't go to, Ashbury to Tina, and now we know Divot's origin source place. Rial was created in a ritual, and so at Kulmara we've yet to see the stone gates, and so it's like really this is the first time we've gotten that kind of opportunity to fuse backstory and character. So I'm just kind of interested because you've really painted the character Brunor so well that it's like as a storyteller just kind of excites me to see like how this is going for you.
It's a blast. It's a super blast because I love just having big ideas and having them yes-anded and amplified by everybody around. Like, our team is so fun. Like, it's like we each will pass the joke around the circle and it circles 5 or 6 times and we're all just laughing. So it's so much fun that this character, I was able to kind of build this character into having that too. Just, the prince being kind of like this, like, I don't really want to do anything that I'm supposed to do. I'm just gonna fight in the, battles that my dad makes me fight in, and then I'm just gonna fuck off after that because I don't believe in these wars or, Bruno's got so many reasons for why she does what she does and why she acts the way she acts. So like, it's fun finally being able to like go home and like be diplomatic like in the throne room and shit, but it's like this like I think I'm gonna, anytime I make characters after this, they're all gonna have a dumb voice. Like they can't. I don't think I could ever just be like, hello, I'm happy to be here. Like I swing my swing, like that just feels so much better.
I will say if you DM a little more, you might end up back on the other. It's fun because like for me, it's like when I play with you guys, I like tap out typically like how many voices I have. I'm like, I'm out. Like some of my characters sound exactly alike, just like in the Family Guy universe. And so, it's just like some characters just sound like the other characters. You try not to make them too similar, but like, it does happen. And so it's like for me, it's funny when I play D&D, I do kind of like this thing where it's like it's my voice, but I talk a little deeper because everything everything's a little more serious. And so, but it's like, it's funny, you would think the way I DM, that is also the way I play. Far less do I do, like, broader voices when I actually play. Again, not to say there's any right way to play. That's just something I find it's funny. It's like I feel like I get to scratch that itch a little bit by DMing because it's like, oh, here's 5 different voices in this, 2 or 3 hour period.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's fun finding a voice that's sustainable.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. As I'm drinking water nonstop and I have a scratchy voice, like I shout in my job. And so it's like I'm trying to find that balance again between just take care of your pipes and do it right vocally. Like I did all the training for it, like, come on.
Yeah, you are your instrument, baby. Yeah. You gotta keep that in tune.
Well, frickin' A, dudes, it has been an absolute honor and a privilege to tell the story thus where we are so far. And I have to tell you, like, I have a pretty nice glimpse of where I would anticipate our heading, which, of course, we'll take a couple hard lefts. But there's some really awesome shit coming. So thank you guys so much. Again, we've been doing this forever. Thanks for your dedication, for your time, for your talents. And thank you so much for making characters that I actively love thinking about all the time. So thank you guys. You really are the best. The other people that are the best are the buds. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. It was a great opportunity for us to kind of take these characters up. This, not to give too much away, but this might be the last getting higher of the prologue to Ganjaria.
Oh my god.
So the other getting hires for in Ganjaria, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, we'll be getting higher, just knowing us. Boom, there he is. Drew with the handsome freeze. But yeah, no, we'll be doing getting hires in our main campaign, the Ganjaria campaign as well. But you know what? For all of the fantastic getting hires to this point, taking these characters from where we started to where we are now, the 8 levels of journey there within. Just wanted to say thank you guys. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to the community. Thanks to Sean. Thanks to Stefanie. Thanks to everybody that does so much to help make this thing happen. Thanks for getting higher with us every week. We will be back. We bring this show to you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific here at the Art Heart Studios channel on Twitch. Come over to the Discord, party with the buds. Come hang out with us. Let's talk shit. Let's laugh. Let's help each other get through this shit. I love you guys oh so very much. We do have a ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it. Maybe you haven't. But we like to take a lighter, like this one right here. Make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire and go. Lighters up. Thanks so much for getting higher with us, guys. Let's get a little higher. Aw, my laugh blew it out. Oh, man.
Oh, my laugh blew it out.
Oh, yeah. Ah, so what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.